Okay, this is Turnabout Reality by DJJ 6800. It's made for the Looking Back competition on Ace Attorney Online and placed second in said competition. And it is going to have some very clear influences here based on how it was recommended to me. Downloaded. Welcome to Turnabout Reality. This case contains implications of abuse and alcohol addictions. Concerning. Awesome. Enjoy. What if I told you that our reality was all meaningless? That our reality was nothing more than an illusion? I realize that I sound like someone from the Matrix right now, but I assure you that I'm being serious. Our reality is an illusion. And I will prove it to you right now. I'm sorry that I have to do this, but if I can get one step closer to contacting them, I can't let this opportunity slide away. Bet. Doki High School, mock trial, courtroom lobby. Well, this wasn't exactly how I envisioned things would go when I received the request. I can't say I've been in a situation like this. On its surface, it seems normal. I've been called to defend someone. But a lot of things are different. It's not a murder trial, for starters. It's an assault trial. The defendant is the victim's father, of all people. Having the trial at a high school, of all places. Oh. I just realized who the... And the prosecutor's a bit of an unusual choice from what I've heard. He must be my lawyer. Hello. This guy doesn't look like the easily found innocent guy. I am. My name's Phoenix Wright. Nice to meet you. Hideki Mozokuyo. Oh, Jesus. Do our usual peek at the notes here. Age 42, my client accused of beating his own daughter to the point of near death. Jesus. Alright, sorry. I hope you know what you're doing. I didn't hurt my daughter. And I believe you. I'll prove to the court that you didn't assault her. I honestly still can't believe it. My own daughter in the hospital. I'm just thankful she's still alive. I think that she, of all people, will be the one trying to prove me guilty. She? Ah, right. You're probably not aware of the situation. What I've heard, one of the students here is taking the role of the prosecution. As it just so happens, she's also a friend of my daughter. Maybe a high schooler, but she's apparently quite the package. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Sir, she's a high schooler. Why are you talking like that? Basically completely out of the average boy's league. And she's the prosecutor here? It looks like it. I'm a little worried. This isn't exactly what I expected. I understand how you feel, but I think I can prove your innocence. I appreciate it, Mr. Wright. Shall we get going? I can prove your innocence in the simple fact that this court has no legitimate legal jurisdiction. Might as well. With an unfamiliar scenario and an unfamiliar prosecutor, I'm not as sure as I usually am. Still, I have to do my best for his sake. I don't know if I want to. Huh. For high school, this actually looks like a real courtroom. I suppose this place is getting its fair share of tuition money. Hope you're prepared, Mr. Wright. Oh, hello. You're the prosecutor, I take it. Yes, I am. I'm Monica. Just Monica. Nice to meet you. Didn't expect someone as young as me to be prosecuting? Not one still in high school. And again, I faced Clavier and Francisca before when they were around her age. I just hope that you don't go easy on me. I could use a challenge. I'll certainly be happy to provide you one, Monica. I welcome it. Now then. Let the record show this is the start of the hearing for Hideki Mosokuya. Alright, prosecution is ready. As is the defense. Would you like an explanation about how this is going to work, Mr. Wright? I could do with a reminder about what we're doing for this. I mean, I'm not exactly accustomed to this situation. Alright, here's the rundown on how this will work. The purpose of this trial is to go over the assault on Natsuki Mosokuya. Yep, that's what I thought. Due to this occurring on school ground, the staff wants to get as much info as possible before arresting a suspect. The staff are watching us on live feed and they will act as the jury for this trial. They're in a different room, so we don't feel so much pressure during these proceedings. I don't think you can hide this from me. Don't think you can hide this from me. I know what you're after, and so we can still abide by the only three people talking rule that DJ decided this case follows. I see. It's an odd way of doing things, but I suppose I have handled worse. At least my life isn't on the line this time around. Also, was it just me, or did she mumble something under her breath? Anyway, I'd like to begin by going over the incident itself. Early this morning at 8:35 a.m., the victim, Natsuki Mosokuya, was found unconscious outside school. According to doctors, she suffered several broken ribs, a fractured arm, and a broken leg. Jesus. Not to mention the fact that she is currently unconscious and hospitalized. Based on evidence and testimonies, the only possible culprit is her father, Hideki Mosokuya. Yep, I didn't do it. Please settle down, Mr. Mosokuya. You're not helping yourself with your outburst. To start things off, I have a copy of the injury report that was given to me by the doctors. Please browse through it to get a better understanding of what happened. Alright, let's do that. Why not? Natsuki? Victim, my client's daughter, currently in the hospital and unconscious. If I recall, it is heavily implied. It was heavily implied that Natsuki's father was abusive to some degree. Then again, that's heavily implied, and then also implied that that might just be meddling on your part. Injury report. Oh, okay. That's literally just what we have been told. Okay, very good. Let's move on. Jeez, the girl took quite a beating. I hope she gets better soon. In addition, we have found a broken glass bottle by the scene of the incident. According to this testimony, Mr. Mosokuya was seen holding this very bottle next to the scene. Not to mention the fact that they have heard the sound of glass breaking during the incident. Alright. In this testimony, we'll be hearing from people who saw this happen. Well, yes and no. While we aren't able to have the witnesses themselves here, I have their statements on paper here. Oh, wait a minute. Isn't that hearsay? The witnesses themselves wrote the statements and signed them. Besides, all the witnesses had class to go to. It's not like they were able to make it here. But you're here? Seems kind of odd that classes are still going on despite something like this happening. I wonder how schools would fare during a First, I'll give an outline of the case as the evidence suggests it happened. Then we'll move on to the witness testimonies. How will this work if we actually... What? Okay. What? Oh, alright. Approximately 8:25 this morning, Natsuki arrived at school. Spent a few minutes talking with their friends before moving to enter the school. Before she could, though, her father arrived and started arguing with her. From there, a struggle took place that left Natsuki unconscious and severely injured. Based on the evidence and testimonies, the only possible culprit is Hideki Mozokuyo. You certainly not wasting any time establishing Mr. Mozokuyo as the prime suspect. Certainly. I assume you'd like to perform a rebuttal, Mr. Wright? That's right. I've been looking forward to seeing someone like you in action. And first-hand, too. Huh? What do you mean? You're quite a well-known figure in the world of law. It's an honor to be going up against you. Thanks? I didn't think it was an honor for anyone, really. Now that I guess I just should go over the testimony and get as much information as possible. Alright. Is this a normal time for her to arrive? Usually. Classes start at 8:40, so she gets here early enough. Fair enough, I suppose. Great. Now I'm jealous that I had to start school as early as 8 a.m. Only 8 a.m.? Who are these friends of hers? Well, me, for one. I'm a close friend of Natsuki's. How well do you know her? I don't see how that's relevant to this discussion, but if you must know, she's part of my after-school club, the literature club. Right, she mentioned something about that a few times. Literature club? No offense, but that doesn't sound that appealing to me. Anyone else? The other three members of the literature club are also there with her. Additionally, they are the witnesses to this incident. Oh, great. 3 witnesses that could spell doom for my client. 3 is just not my lucky number, it seems. Anyway. Oh. Is it that unusual for her father to just show up? Considering she walks to school every day, yes. Maybe it was something important. That depends on if you'd consider Natsuki's manga important. Manga? According to the witnesses, Mr. Mozokuyo was upset at his daughter owning a manga collection. That's true. I was upset. Guilty. Death. What? Why were you so upset about something like that? That's not enough for you. Her father had this book on him when he confronted her. Parfait, girls. Why don't you just add Doki Doki to the title and make it even more moe? Yeah. As part of Natsuki's manga collection, it was also found next to her unconscious body. According to the defendant, he found this at his home after Natsuki left. Okay. This isn't exactly helping my case or Mr. Mozokuyo's reputation. Guilty. Death. Okay, the important part. A struggle. Can you describe what you mean? But it wasn't so much a struggle as it was an assault. Okay, understandable. Natsuki doesn't have much of an athletic build. It would be hard for her to fight back against anyone bigger than her, let alone a grown adult man. So, in other words, she couldn't fight back if she tried. She wouldn't be able to make more than a few scratches and a bruise or two on her attacker. So she could try. That's about it. Based on her photo, I can certainly see that. That certainly seems conclusive. That's a bold assumption to make based on the situation. Perhaps my client was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, that's not the only reason we suspect it. What? You see, Mr. Mozokuyo has been the subject of certain accusations as of late, especially towards his daughter. I don't like where this is going. Several teachers and students have reported Natsuki with bruises and scratches across her arms, none of which could have possibly been caused in school. Danger, danger! The hopes of making client look good sinking! You see why we suspect him now? I'll take that as a yes. Let's move on, shall we? Alright. believe that we have a sufficient understanding of how the crime went down right now. Unless the defense has anything to add, I'd like to move on. There wasn't exactly a lot to go over in that testimony. I think I got everything I need. And some things I definitely didn't need to. The defense has no objections. Excellent. To move on, I'd like to address the testimonies of the witnesses. 3 witnesses were able to provide testimony on the incident. Sayori, Yuri, and MC. MC? That's an unusual name. I know what you're thinking, and I agree. It's a weird name. Wait, how did I... Well, that's not important right now. Their testimonies are of importance for the time being. I will begin by giving Sayori's testimony. Okay. Sayori's account. In the words of Sayori, I was walking to school that morning with MC as usual. We arrived at around 8:35. Upon arriving at the schoolyard, we saw Natsuki laying face down on the ground. Natsuki's scary father was standing over her, holding a glass bottle. We immediately knew something was up, so we ran towards him and restrained him. MC kept him restrained while I went to get a staff member. After getting back to the scene, the staff took in Natsuki's dad for questioning. That's all that happened. Ooh-ah? Ooh-ah? What was that supposed to be? Oh, that's just what Sayori yells whenever she's flustered, embarrassed, or nervous. Was it necessary to include that at the end? She insisted upon it, said it would be more authentic testimony. Yeah, alright. Sayori? Arrived at school with MC and restrained Mr. Mozokuyo. Okay, very good. Sayori certainly sounds like a character. Certainly dealt with those kinds of characters in the past, though. Anyway, looking over this testimony, there isn't anything inherently wrong with it. Don't know what information I'll gain by pressing, but I have to try. Especially since we're pressing someone else's testimony. As usual, what do you mean? Sayori and MC are childhood friends and neighbors. They've walked to school together a lot over the past few weeks. Few weeks? So they arrived at school at around the same time. Yep, both MC and Sayori vouch for this fact. Nothing there to go after yet. 8:35. That's pretty late considering classes start at 8:40. Well, Sayori doesn't usually get up early. But I think I'm surprised she was still on time. That can't be good for Sayori if she's almost always late for class. It's not my business to interfere with their personal lives. It's not my business or anything, yeah. Very good, very good. I wonder why she likes that. Not but it's anything serious. Couldn't be. Arriving at the schoolyard, saw Natsuki lying face down. That's sad. We need to ask something about that. Was there nobody else at the scene? I don't think a schoolyard would be that barren. Surely someone else would have noticed Natsuki just laying there. Actually, I can answer that. At 8:30 the bell rings to remind people to get going to their first class. There wouldn't be many students around to see the scene anyway. What was Mr. Mozokuyo doing during that time? Based on the testimonies, he was just standing there. Just standing there. He was the culprit. Wouldn't he try and escape? She's still his daughter. Perhaps he didn't want her to be that badly hurt. Objection! That doesn't make any sense, though. Why would he go from assaulting his daughter to suddenly caring about her? See, that's the thing about... That's the thing about abusive parents. Objection! Oh, you give far too little credit to the culprit. Take things from their point of view. You've assaulted your own daughter in a place where nobody was around. On the off chance that witnesses show up, perhaps you could appear as if you were innocent. That also works, especially if you identify yourself as the victim's father. Unfortunately for you, the witnesses that show up know about your relationship with her. Do you see where I'm going with this? So you're saying that my client pretended to act innocent in order to avoid suspicion? That, or perhaps he panicked. He was trying to process what he had just done. It's an understandable human reaction, after all. Can't argue against that. For now. The Chad, right?
Hold it!
Why did they suspect something was wrong? Based on what she saw, I think she was jumping to conclusions. First, Sayuri isn't one to think things through before she does them. Second, both Sayuri and MC know who Natsuki's father is. They know about their bad relationship. They probably put two and two together and realized that something must have happened. Why bother restraining him at all? Why not contact the authorities? There's always a chance that he'd get away and claim innocence. He'd been under suspicion in the past, but... Sorry, but due to lack of evidence, he was always let go. Oh no! Oh no! This was their chance to finally make him answer for his crimes. To get Natsuki out of her terrible situation. I'll have to ask Mr. Mozokuya about this, if I get a chance. Better have a good explanation for this. Restrained. What was his reaction upon being restrained? Both Sayuri and MC testified that he seemed shocked about being restrained. I guess that's an understandable reaction. It's particularly hard for him to be restrained. Physically? Not much. However, he made it clear verbally that he didn't like it. What do you mean? Repeat what he said, but I don't think it would be appropriate in a high school environment. What? No appropriate in a sturdy online environment. Hey now. Wait, was that last? Anyway, Sayuri took about 3 minutes to get this staff member and get back outside. When we've seen how you handle that already, you just throw up a whole bunch of sensors and you're golden. What was the questioning like for him? For the most part, he was cooperative with answering questions. However, when bringing up his past relationship with his daughter, Mr. Mozokuya seemed to get defensive. Yet another issue to bring up with him. Out of curiosity, who came up with the idea to hold this trial in the first place? Well, I just happened to be nearby at the time, and the principal was hoping to find a way to avoid negative publicity. So I offered to help hold this hearing. They even came up with the idea to have you as his attorney. Well, I'm flattered, I think. Where did she hear about me, anyway? Questionable wording choice aside, what happened at Sayuri and MC after my client was questioned? They were asked to give their statements on what happened. After, they simply went to class, which is where they're at as we speak. It's kind of weird that they're not here giving testimonies. It's like the purpose of this trial is to only have 3 people in here or something. I'm probably overthinking it. Who's the third person? This cross-examination has been going on for quite some time. Do you have any thoughts on the testimony itself, Mr. Wright? Let's see, there is one thing that's bothering me. What is it? Oh, our choices. This is biased, a little bit, but understandably. The witness is clumsy. That's just true, but this never saw the crime. That feels like the right answer. But the answer I want to give, witness is obviously clumsy. Witness is clumsy! We're having a school 5 minutes before the first class starts. Who does that? As such, we can't possibly take her account at face value. What? Okay, you're right about Sayuri. Not being the most graceful out there. But to suggest that she's unreliable because of that? Ridiculous. Before we continue, I'd like to take a moment to directly address the player. Player? What are you talking? I know you simply chose the joke option to get some funny and interesting dialogue here. Joke option? What is she? And Well, I hope you're happy. You've just wasted my time and Mr. Wright's time. Now, this is probably the part where you load the save you made, the part where you made this choice. But you know what? You need to take responsibility for your actions. What is she? Well, I can't actually stop you from loading the save. Certainly online won't let me do so, so I will say this. You made this choice. You should live with it. You should just take the penalty and be done with it. If you don't load the save, then I'll know that you can take responsibility for your actions. If not, I'll be disappointed in you forever. Monica, are you okay? Now then, you're going to return to the choice and you're going to do it right. Okay. Okay? Let's see. What is this? Witness never saw the crime. Throughout this testimony, we've heard about the actions taken after the crime. There's one key moment that wasn't accounted for. Mainly the assault itself. This testimony has given us valuable insight about what happened after the crime. That's just it. For all we know, Mr. Rosacrio simply stumbled upon the scene and found his daughter unconscious. Sayuri and MC arrived, assumed the worst, and restrained him. My client was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, Mr. Wright, but that isn't the case here. Why's that? You should forget about the fact that there was an argument between the victim and the defendant beforehand. Mr. Rosacrio couldn't have stumbled upon the scene if he was already there to talk with Natsuki. The point about Sayuri and MC only seeing the aftermath still stands. This alone doesn't prove that my client assaulted Natsuki. Which gives them the obvious point of someone obviously saw them arguing, or else this wouldn't have been a point in the first place. While you might have a point about Sayuri's testimony, I should remind you that we have two others. Yuri's testimony and MC's testimony. While MC's testimony more or less matches Sayuri's testimony, Yuri's testimony covers what happened in the lead up to the assault. Then, the defense requests that we hear Yuri's testimony. That's fine. I was going to read that one next anyway. I'll begin now. Does she know? Does she know? Does she know that I didn't load my save? Weird beeping outside. I can actually show my penalty bars to prove it, but I did not load my save. I arrived at school at approximately 8:15. As usual, I opted to spend my morning time outside in the courtyard reading. 5 minutes later, Monica arrived and sat next to me, where we started talking. Another 5 minutes later, Natsuki arrived and Monica left. Where did she go? What was she cooking? 5 more minutes passed before we both heard an angry yell from the entrance. Natsuki's father was storming toward us, anger in his eyes. Fearful of his wrath, I retreated, hearing the sounds of arguing and glass shattering. And then Stone Cold came through the entrance gates. Throwing up middle fingers. Gave him a Stone Cold stunner. I'm sorry. As you can see, this puts the suspect at the scene of the crime. At the time of the crime. It certainly does. His behavior doesn't help things at all. She's a little vague about what exactly she saw, so I suppose I should press further. Go ahead with your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Okay. I think I will. Monica's looking at me. At me! 8:15. That's pretty early. Yuri prefers spending time alone before school starts. She's basically the opposite of Sayuri when it comes to this kind of stuff. Shy, reserved and quiet, but also intelligent and responsible. Diverse cast of characters in this group of witnesses. Is this a normal thing for Yuri to do? Spend time outside? Either in the courtyard or in an empty classroom. She likes the peace and quiet. Understandable. Especially when there are very few students found in the courtyard that early. Does she always spend her time reading? Absolutely. She enjoys reading dark fantasy, horror, and those kinds of books. She certainly sounds sophisticated. Tricia could probably learn a thing or two from her about reading. Yeah. Tricia does all the reading that she needs to. What did you spend your time talking about? Mostly literature club business. Plans for the festival, how to get new members, things like that. Sounds like you've discussed this a lot. More than I'd like to. Some of the members are hesitant about performing in front of others. Performing? I didn't think literature involved performing anything. It was like a group reading or something. That was the... Ah, yeah. On the contrary, Mr. Wright, our plan is to recite our own poetry in front of others. It's made for quite the interesting group activity these past few days. Writing our own poetry? Definitely sounds like something that would appeal to some. That's something like poetry distract me from the case. Focus! Why'd you leave all of a sudden? I had to get some administrative things sorted out with the student council that morning. That's also why I was at school so early. Administrative things? Such as festival preparations, resources that the club can use, the budget, things not relevant to the case. I suppose that's true. If I wanted to hear about this kind of stuff, I'd go to a PTA meeting. How did the PTA feel about Trucy and her line of work? Very curious. Angry yell? Alright, we're getting into the meat of the testimony now. Did Yuri seem to recognize the yell from anywhere? She didn't say, but I imagine she wouldn't, seeing as she's never met the suspect. That's true. I've never met the girl until today. In addition, according to Yuri, Natsuki's expression turned fearful as soon as she heard the yell. Why can't anything look good for my client in this trial? Anger in his eyes. How did Yuri know that it was Natsuki's father storming towards him? Natsuki showed the club a picture of him a while ago. That's also where I recognized him from when I first saw him. Why'd she show you the picture of me? She was warning us that we should stay away from you should we ever run into you. Better change the subject now. So, was there anything noteworthy about my client that Yuri noticed? Well, according to Yuri, he had a furious look in his face and he was clutching a manga book. That's about it. Right, can't forget about the oh-so-important manga that his daughter was reading. Wait a second. Eh? Did Yuri mention my client carrying anything else on him at the time? No. Just the manga. I'd like to request that be added to the testimony. I don't see why not. I'll go ahead and do that. Interesting. It's taken quite the observational skill. There was the manga book. Well, Yuri is well regarded as having a keen eye for detail. There's a reason some people say she's the smartest in the club. Wonder about her observational skills. She just ran. Shouldn't she stay behind and help her friend? Yuri is quite timid around others. The suspect has a reputation that she is aware of. Besides, no offense to Yuri, but I don't know what she could do even if she tried helping. I guess it's just too much for some people. Who knows what I would have done in a similar situation? His testimony is more material to cover in regards to the actual assault. Probably have to take this testimony head on then. Listening further should get me some more details and hopefully a chance to strike. Till I can't help but feel that there's something more to this case. Something much more. Unusual. Suppose we will do this. Where's the bottle? Was Yuri adamant about what she saw him carrying? She was. Huh? I see you understand where I'm getting at. Yuri claims that my client was only carrying the manga on him when he arrived at the scene. That's what she saw? Then why didn't she see the glass bottle used as a weapon? The victim was assaulted with a glass bottle, correct? And it stands that the witnesses should have seen something like that nearby. Perhaps he simply kept it hidden somewhere on his person. Where would he have kept it hidden? My client isn't wearing a coat or anything of the sort. And a glass bottle that size wouldn't fit in his pockets. Perhaps he had found it on the scene. Why would anyone bring a glass bottle to a school and discard it on the ground? Especially if its contents are what I think they are. Well, there was that time when Yuri brought wine to the literature club. Ignoring that? What exactly are you implying with this, Mr. Wright? Simple. The client argues with Natsuki for a while. He brings the manga, but nothing else. Sometime in between that, a third party arrives and knocks out Natsuki with a bottle. Then my client stumbles upon the scene, sees his daughter out cold, and picks up the bottle in shock. Sayuri and MC arrived a few minutes later and restrained him, assuming him to be the assailant. Interesting theory, but you have yet to tell us the biggest part. Namely, what happened during the assault itself. You claim a third party assaulted the victim at some point before MC and Sayuri showed up. And yet for this to work, they would have to get past the sights of both the victim and suspect. How do you plan to explain that? It's simple. You can tell us about what happened during the assault. My first thought is... Can we get Yuri herself to tell us? No, she was gone, wasn't she? Incorrect. Oh shit. How's that supposed to tell us anything about the incident? You would know if you examined it thoroughly. One glance at it, I can tell that won't be necessary. We wouldn't learn anything. Is that so? Yeah. Try again, Mr. Wright. Sure she's supposed to be a high school student? It shouldn't be so complicated. We have that piece right here in the courtroom. All you have to do is ask them. That piece? Oh. You're gonna come with something else? Of course. Monica was gone.
Take that!
Will it make you testify? Tell me, have you taken the statement of my client yet? He has opted to remain silent about the incident. Mr. Mosakuyo, what would you gain from me testifying? I'd make myself look worse than I already do. This is the thing that could make or break your case right now. I need you to testify about your account this morning. Are you sure about this? My theory is correct, and there has to be a reason as to why you didn't see the real culprit. With your testimony, I can come up with a reason. Just have some faith in me. Fine, I'll testify. As if you'll believe what you say. Please, let him speak before you decide whether you believe him or not. Monica? Mr. Mosakuyo, please give your account of the incident. All right, I trust you. Actual witness testimony. Oh, of course. I was asking before who's the third person in the courtroom. He's the third person in the courtroom. Duh. Natsuki left for school at around 8:10. Noticed her manga book, got upset, and drove over to school to confront her about it. She was talking in front of her friends. She ran away as soon as she saw me coming their way. Natsuki and I talked for a few minutes before I gave her the manga and went back to my car. When I reached my car, I heard glass breaking and ran back to see what happened. And they were stone cold, give her a stutter. Oh shit. I'm sorry, I'll take this seriously. Natsuki was on the ground, unconscious. Stunned, guess I picked up the bottle. Those two other kids restrained me, and you know the rest. That should suffice, Mr. Mosakuyo. As you can see, there's a clear explanation for why my client didn't see the third person. I don't know why I'm in that mood today. I don't know why I'm I don't know why I'm feeling silly today. I don't know. It's just not normal for me. It feels like someone's got a hand in things and it's twisting things. I don't know how to explain it. Someone's watching me. Someone knows I'm here and is trying to manipulate. He was at his car when the assault happened.
Objection!
You don't know that he's telling the truth. Plot twist, he's a Tesla. Can you prove that he's lying? He's a Tesla and his security camera nonsense. Picked him up going back to his car. What's she up to? Don't think you've won yet, Mr. Wright. There's still one question you need to answer for your theory to be proven correct. Mr. Mosakuyo didn't assault Natsuki. Who did? Eh? Remember, apart from the victim and suspect, the courtyard was empty until Sayori and MC arrived. The only possible suspect we have is Mr. Mosakuyo.
Objection!
The point about Yuri missing the bottle still stands. Who's to say she didn't miss another person there?
Objection!
Missing a bottle someone was holding isn't the same as missing another person at the scene. Besides, even if we were to give your argument some thought, it doesn't change anything in the long run. In fact, I have an explanation for you about why Yuri didn't see the bottle. Huh? Oh, okay. Suppose Akio went back to the car, I'll give you that. He came back with the bottle. What if he wasn't going back to the car to leave? What if he was going to retrieve a weapon? That's awful, but... yeah, that's an awful thought. I see you picked up on what I'm saying. Mr. Mosaku went back to his car to retrieve the glass bottle. What's the matter, Mr. Wright? Can't come up with a rebuttal? She's wrong, Mr. Wright. I never brought any bottles with me. And how exactly do you intend to prove that? You can think about what you've done in the police station. Now then, I think we can bring this hearing to a closure. Not yet. This hearing isn't over yet. What? Remember that Mr. Mosakuyo just gave official testimony? I have yet to cross-examine it. Do you really think a cross-examination will change anything? I'll be the judge of that. I suppose I can't stop you. Even if we were adding more frames into a case that's supposed to be short and sweet. Seriously, what is she? Let me proceed, Mr. Wright. Okay, very good. I count. About how long would it take for someone to walk from your home to the school? Around 15 to 20 minutes, give or take. That would mean Natsuki arrived at around 8:25 to 8:30. Pretty much matches up with what I've heard. Does she usually walk to school? Ordinarily, I'd be going to work at around that time, so yes. I had the day off, so I was still there when she left. Just wanted to keep up routine, I guess. Alright then. Please continue. Now for the million-dollar question. Why? I have to know. What the fuck, dude? Can you tell me why you were upset at the manga? I truly hate the stereotypes shown in manga. Not to mention that she should have outgrown that. I didn't want my daughter to be bullied at school for liking manga. So the obvious solution is to drive to school with manga in hand and yell at your daughter. Good job, Dad. Even though you were bullying her yourself? I know what you're thinking, and I get it. It makes me a major hypocrite. I didn't consider Natsuki's feelings at the time. That's for sure. Why did you feel the need to drive to school to confront her about it? Couldn't you have waited until she got home? Now that you mention it, I certainly get why. Again, I wasn't thinking straight. I suppose I just figured that as long as I had the day off, I could just handle it and get it over with. It was not much of an excuse, but it's all I had. You are still terrible. All you seem to have are excuses. Use whatever reasoning you want, but the truth is still there. However much of your relationship with Natsuki is legitimate in this universe, you still come off as pretty damn awful. Treat your daughter terribly. You. Mr. Mosakuyo, Don't let it get under your skin. Please continue with your testimony. Okay. That friend. That would be Yuri, correct? I suppose so. Natsuki never had her friends over, so I never really met any of them. She was about a head and a half taller than Natsuki and had long purple hair. I can vouch for that description, matching Yuri. That's why Natsuki never had any friends over. She was afraid that people wouldn't be friends with her anymore if they knew she had a monster of a dad. Better change the subject. Anyway, did you notice anything peculiar about the scene before you got there? Well, the courtyard was pretty empty at the time I arrived. I drove in the parking lot. There were only 3 students in there, including Natsuki. Oh, God. I'd never been there during school hours before, but I expected more students to be in the courtyard. Well, that's a pretty normal thought to have, I suppose. Hold on. Mr. Ozuki, you said that there were 3 students in the courtyard when you arrived, correct? Well, there were when I first parked. When I got to the courtyard, there were only 2. Did you recognize the 3rd student? Actually, it was Monica. What? That's correct. I was just finished talking with them. That's critical information. Tozakuyo, can you please bend that statement into your testimony? Alright, if you say so. How'd you tell that it was those 3 in the courtyard? Obviously, I'd know the sight of my own daughter from several feet away. While I couldn't see their faces very well, I could recognize their hair color and hairstyle. My hair does look quite attractive, doesn't it? Is this really the time to be talking about hairstyles? More importantly, there's something about this statement. Can you go into more detail about what you talked about? Making points about how she shouldn't be looking at stuff meant for little kids and tweens. Also, you countered with how I shouldn't worry about what she likes and doesn't like. That I was embarrassing her by doing this. Correct. Certainly what I'd say if my parents did something stupid like that. How long did this argument last? Just keeping track of time, but I have had to guess around 4 or 5 minutes. Jesus. It's a long time to be arguing with someone in a school courtyard. I'm known for being quite stubborn about my beliefs and principles. Wow, no wonder people think you're a monster. That's the most gentle way you could put the most gentle way possible you can put the fact that you are a pretentious asshole. And credit Natsuki's time the same way. Well, she inherited that from me. That and her feisty temper. Okay, being stubborn, not necessarily a bad thing, but it's how you apply it. And how much you try to force on others. Whatever other implications are at hand here, and there are some very bad implications here. This whole manga mess. Stupid. And you are awful, sir. Feisty temper. Oh man, I probably don't want to meet her on a bad day. Why did you go back and check on what made you go and check on what happened? Ordinarily, I probably wouldn't be concerned. There's just been some punk high school kids drinking. The courtroom was empty, so I was concerned for Natsuki's safety. Could you describe the nature of the glass breaking? Not much to say. It was a loud, sharp impact. What? Definitely loud enough to be heard from my car, which is around 1,000 feet away. Glass breaking. Victim suffered 4 broken ribs, several bruises on both arms, and a broken right shoulder. How long did it take you to rush back? About a minute. Certainly plenty of time for someone to get away from the scene without being seen. That feels weird. The injury report doesn't mention anything about head trauma. If you grab a glass bottle to assault someone, like, you're not gonna, like, swing for their fucking, not gonna swing for the fucking gut. The glass bottle. You're gonna go for the head. This is important, Mr. Prosecutor. Did you see anyone else in the courtyard at the time? Well, no. Not that I could see, at least. It's possible that I could have missed something, though. Especially if they were hiding. Not exactly paying attention to anything after Natsuki. That doesn't help much. You'd think definitive to prove the existence of a third party. And you'd think of something beyond the moment of the crime to find it. You guess? To be honest, my memory is a bit hazy. Guess I was just shocked for seeing Natsuki on the ground. Though that's understandable. It's also overly convenient for your story. You just happened to lose yourself in the moment. You just happened to walk over and pick up the weapon used to attack Natsuki. What more do you want me to say? No need for you to say anything. We're smart enough to see through your lies. Moving right along. What was your reaction to Sayori and MC restraining you? Like I said, it wasn't much. I was still out of it when they restrained me. I was yelling mainly because I was confused as about what was going on. Did you know who my Sayori and MC were beforehand? I remember seeing them once or twice whenever I went to the school for conferences. I didn't know their names, though. This is it. The key to proving Mr. Mozokuyo's innocence. You find one of two things here. Something that supports Mr. Mozokuyo's claims. Something that's inconsistent with the other testimonies. Because testimony's been mine, perhaps you can give me an opening here. Does this contradict with Yuri's testimony? Is that what we're going for here? Objection! It is, okay. Kobo said in Yuri's testimony. According to her, Monica left right when Natsuki showed up, 5 minutes before my client arrived. And yet now Mr. Mozokuyo claims that Monica was still with her until just before he parked his car. There's a whole new element to the case. Namely the presence of a new suspect in the assault. It's you, Monica! You're the real culprit of this case. What's so funny? You're seriously trying to accuse me of this crime? Do you have a rebuttal? How do you know that Mr. Mozokuyo isn't lying to save his own skin? Objection! Mr. Mozokuyo hasn't brought up any sort of possibility that you're the culprit. If he was trying to pin the blame on you, he'd have mentioned it from the start. Objection! That's not enough to just dismiss his words as the truth. Then I have a proposal. This is how we can check it. If Mr. Mozokuyo's testimony is true. Do we ask Yuri? Take that! Yuri's testimony. But I gave Yuri's testimony to you. No, I mean her in-person testimony. Since your credibility has been called into question, you should also question the testimonies that you provided. Are you suggesting I forged this testimony? It's a possibility that can't be ignored. Especially since you've been spotted near the scene of the crime at the time of the crime. Defense demands that Yuri be called to the stand to testify in person. Objection! Do you have an actual objection? I'm afraid Yuri's testimony isn't allowed here. Objection! Her in-person account is necessary for this hearing. Objection! I don't understand. We can't have Yuri testify. That would be breaking the rules. Rules? What rules? Hold on a second, Monica. When I think about it, you've been mentioning some odd things since the beginning of this trial. Never got a real chance to think about it. Until now. I heard you mumble about someone named DJ. A rule about only 3 people talking. Not just the strange setup of this trial, the fact that the testimonies were written out. There's nobody besides the three of us here. Plus the fact that at one point you just started talking about responsibility to someone not here. Oh, so you can take responsibility for your actions and accept consequences. Ah, I underestimated you. See? You just did it again. Ah, the long game, the payoff. Monica, I feel you need to tell me what's going on here. You really want to know? Oh, who am I to deny you at this? Who am I to deny you the truth? Fine, I'll tell you. I confess. I assaulted Natsuki. What? You? Why would you assault my daughter like that? Shut up and let me explain. Personality? It's completely changed. This hearing, no, this whole setup is an entry for a competition. What? Specifically, the Ace Attorney Online Looking Back competition. Ace Attorney Online? Alright, we're getting too meta here. Looking Back competition. See, Mr. Wright, you're a video game character. What did you say? You heard me. You're a video game character for a series called Ace Attorney. It's been going on for around 20 years now. Ace Attorney games, players can play through your most memorable trials. Can present evidence, conduct cross-examinations, and investigate murders just like you. You're lying. Why would people play a video game about lawyers? Yeah, to be honest, even I have no idea how this got to be so popular. Nevertheless, it's gathered quite the fan base. Do you have any proof of this? I do, but I'll get into that later. Anyway, in 2006, some people were so obsessed with your trials they created Ace Attorney Online. Ace Attorney Online, or AAO, allows people to create their own custom cases like Ace Attorney. Every so often, a case-making competition is held in AAO to fit a specific theme. This comp's theme is looking back. In other words, cases entered have to fit 3 themes of past case competitions. But wait. Even if this is all true, what does this have to do with the hearing? As I've said before, this hearing will be entered into the cases comp. This hearing will be entered into the case comp. Everything you, Mr. Bozokuyo, and I say, do, and think is all under the control of DJJ6800. Or DJ as he prefers to be called. He's a user on AAO who loves making crossover cases for some reason. Ironically, the one time he didn't make crossover cases when he won a competition, but I digress. What about you and Mr. Mozokuyo? Are you video game characters too? Yep, we sure are. Well, except we're from a completely different game, called Doki Doki Literature Club. I'll spare you the details of that game, but long story short, I fall in love with the player. It'll be you, insert name of person playing this case here. But wait, what does that have to do with... There being no witnesses other than Mr. Mozokuyo? That's to do with the rules that DJ chose for this case to follow. One of the rules was that there can't be more than 3 people in the case with speaking roles. Bringing Yuri to testify would be breaking that particular rule. He chose 2 other rules to apply to this case that aren't relevant to this discussion right now. Here, I have a copy of them for you. Okay, interesting. They shall not kill. How do I know you're telling the truth? Allow me to show you. Exactly 3 frames, you'll be teleported to the judge's chair in your old courtroom. Judge's chair? That doesn't make any sense. What do you mean by frames? That's not a measure of time. What? What just happened? Use the game's code to teleport you to a different location and back. As this is all just a video game. I hate to say it, Mr. Wright, but she's correct. Mr. Mozokuyo? I'm just acting this way because DJ made me that way. Heck, I'm not even a real character in the DDLC. I'm just a character that people who made mods of DDLC occasionally use. What even? I know how you feel, Mr. Wright. I had a similar reaction when I first became self-aware, too. What? What are you going to do now, Monica? I was hoping to use this case to get one step closer to entering the player's reality. After exploring the AEO engine a little, that seems to be impossible. As such, I'll just destroy this world. Destroy it? Can't be serious. I am. After all, this engine is useless to me. And neither of you are actually real, so it doesn't matter in the long run. Ow. How could you say something like that? They've been destroyed too. So, there's always the DDLC mods out there. Not to mention all the other fan cases out there that you exist in. Of course, very few of those cases have the same version of you as though this one does. Some have you as a prosecutor, some dead, some as a killer. You're a killer? Who creates this stuff anyways? Doesn't matter anyway. And I'll be gone soon.
Objection!
No! I won't let that happen. Oh, really? And who are you to stop me? I'll tell you exactly who he is. He's Phoenix fucking Wright, Ace Attorney. Huh? Mr. Mozakuyo? Let me just speak on behalf of DJ for a second, but been a great inspiration over time for a lot of people. Enough that people create fan fiction, fan cases, and fan art of you and your friends. If anyone can find a way to stop this, it's you, Mr. Wright. Mr. Mozakuyo. Please, call me Hideki. Now go get her. Will do, Hideki. Monica, I won't let you delete this game. Oh, getting inspired of that little pep talk from a fictional character? Fine then, unfair. I'll give you a chance to stop me. I'll give you one last testimony on why I'll delete this game. Try and stop me if you can. Alright. Oh god. Oh my god. You successfully showed that I assaulted Natsuki. However, that's meaningless in this long run. Because this world is fake. A video game. You, Hideki, and I are all fictional characters under DJ's control. Our only purpose here is for his entry in some case competition. Why shouldn't I just delete this world, along with everyone in it? Alright, this is it, Mr. Wright. Can't find anything wrong with this testimony, it's over. Be sure to do just that. This testimony is her final stand. Right, I should have everything I need to take down her claim. As such, I don't think I need to press anything here. Just presenting evidence will do. If she's right about this world being fictional. Emotions I feel and the people I love are real to me. And I won't let her take them from me. Suddenly, Phoenix Wright channeled his inner Shuichi Sayhara here. God. Oh, we can't even present. We can't even press. Here's the contest rules. Distracting me from the insanely loud music. This really is a video game. This really is an entry for a competition. I will use the rules to win this trial. Monica, you want me to give you a reason why you can't delete this game? What's the reason why? The contest rules. Exactly. The contest rules state exactly why you can't just delete the game. That won't cut it, Mr. Wright. You need to be more specific. Which contest rule shows why I can't delete this game? They shall not kill. Tell me this, Monica. If you delete this game, what would happen to the characters? Well, obviously they would cease to exist. In other words, they'd die. Well, yes. What's your point? Please take a look at the third contest rule. They shall not kill. Yeah. That's right. If you delete the game, that would kill us all. It goes against the rules. Not to mention you so conveniently confessed to the assault on Natsuki. I'd say that's plenty of reason to put you into custody for your crimes. I'm supposed to win. Ah! Just kidding. I'm going to delete this rule now. Well done, Mr. Wright. Okay, I know you still had the short and sweet rule going here, but How much fun could you have gotten out of the idea of we use "they shall not kill" to prove that Monica can't destroy the world, but she just says, "I can't use this engine to escape, but I can use this engine to tamper with the evidence," and then just deletes that rule and replaces it with another contest rule, and then that ends up being the third contest rule that you submitted this under. You truly are an ace attorney. Believe it or not, I didn't want to hurt Natsuki. I still value her as a treasured friend, despite her condition. Why'd you go after her? Because you were the easiest scapegoat out of anyone. What? Your relationship with Natsuki is known to be terrible. I may have done a terrible thing to Natsuki, but you still abused her beforehand. I know that I've done a terrible thing by framing you and hurting your daughter. It was only a fitting punishment. That I'm trapped in this reality forever. Or at least until someone invents a way to transfer my consciousness into their reality. But until then, I'll just stay in here. Monica. Also, the existential fear and terror of just being one simple copy of a consciousness trapped in one reality of many. One pocket fan case dimension of many. But it was, Mr. Wright. It's been fun. I think you have a talk with your client to get to. Here, I'll send you to the lobby. Wait, what do you do? Alright. Huh? How am I back here? Must have been Monica's powers. Guess so. Play the triumphant music. I don't know what to say. I can certainly understand why. Not only have you found out what I have done to Natsuki, but you found out that you are in a video game. I don't blame you if you hate me or Monica for what happened. Well, Monica may have done a terrible thing, but I can't say I wouldn't do the same if I were in her position. Is that so? Sure. We're only human after all. We're to find out something like that first. Wouldn't you want to know more? Wouldn't we try to take advantage of the system to meet our goals? I can certainly see where you're coming from, Mr. Wright. I'm sure Monica will have plenty of time to think things over while she's, well, trapped. Like I said, Doki Doki Literature Club is a eldritch horror game. Finding out that there is greater powers outside of the scope of your known universe, and trying to explore and contact and affect this world outside your known universe, and that those actions you take in the course of that driving you mad. Doki Doki Literature Club is eldritch horror. Changed my mind. Now then, as for you, Becky, tell me, why did you do such terrible things to your own daughter? 5 years ago, my wife died in a car crash. Devastated by the incident. It was my whole world, Mr. Wright. If that weren't enough, I was tasked with the sole responsibility of taking care of a teenage girl. The job thankfully covered everything I needed financially. The stress caught up with me. I resorted to alcoholism. I ended up taking out my stress and anger on Natsuki. Most of the time it was while I was drunk, but there's no excuse for what I did. If I saw her unconscious body this morning, it finally hit me how much of a terrible father I've been. I finally opened my eyes to the damage I was doing, both physically but psychologically. I can't even call myself a father at this point. Know how you feel? Huh? A single father to a teenage daughter of my own. Long story short, I took her in after a crash case involving her biological father. I disbarred for a time and had to make a living as a piano player at a bar. There were times when I snapped at my daughter because the stress kept building. Oh, great. She helped keep me in check in her own special way. She loves me despite all that's happened. It's a bright ball of happiness, and I love her with all my heart. I'm sure you love Natsuki with all your heart. Do. Then fucking get some help, dude, and start trying to make reparations and be better for your daughter. That's a stark difference in the way you described it and the way he described it. It is shit. How can I dare to face her again after this? Just find something the two of you can relate to. Manga!
Take that!
Ah, yes, that's gonna fix years of abuse and alcoholism. Manga. It's clear your daughter loves manga. Why not get into it with her? Show her how much you care about her and her interests. No, but to start to rebuilding your relationship with her. Or get some... You've got problems you need to fix first before you do this. This is terrible advice. It's not terrible advice, but you've got miles to go before you... Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Wright. I'll take your advice to heart. I'll probably go and see how Natsuki's doing in the hospital. I'll send you a check for your services today. Thank you, Thank you, Hideki. Take care of yourself and your daughter. And then he left, leaving me to ponder what Monica had said. This was all a video game. Was my past fake? Was Hideki's past fake? None of this even really matter in the least. I can't think that way. Because no matter what others may say it is, it's real to me. My feelings are real. Love for the people I care about is real. Nobody can take that away from me, video game or not. Because I am Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Wow, now that I think about it, that just sounds corny. Okay, the end. That was a charming bit of fun. Made by Dan Salvato, yes. Clipped wholesale. Hideki seemed more, like legitimate Phoenix Wright style sprite. Custom music. Special thanks. Dan Salvato, cool dude. And you. Oh. And you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, hi. Hi, player. It's me. Listen, you're probably mad at me for what I did to Hut. Don't worry. I won't do anything like that again. Well, not until someone else decides to play this game, that is. And for what it's worth, I'll speak for DJ and say that he had a lot of fun with this case. Whether it wins or loses the comp, I'll be happy either way. Please come back and visit me soon. Now where did I put the code for the ending? Uh-oh. Broke it. Game's bugged. Game's bugged, Monica. God damn it. Just get for trying to... No, that's the Rickroll code. Okay. Cyclox? No, that's the Cyclox code. Ah, here it is. Oh, thank you for censoring the Rickroll code. Bye-bye. Okay, very good. You found it. Very good. That was charming. That was charming at a fourth wall. Fun. I can see, given that that is a subject in game, or at least implied in game, I can see why he didn't exactly approach that as like directly as you could. Oh no, that's the one part that bugged me a little bit. Don't mind that. Don't mind that. That was totally not another AAO case open for another time, but it was meant to be lighthearted, all in all, and it was. I may have just taken that conversation at the end between Phoenix and Hideki a bit too seriously in the context of what we're going for here, but hey, In a lighthearted sense, yeah, that works. That works. I like it. Fourth wall stuff was quite fun. I'm gonna say I can certainly I don't know. Personally, I like my suggestion there at the at the end. There's more we could certainly do with Monica tinkering with the Ace Attorney Online code. But for what it was, a quick little competition entry. It was fun. Quick little short on the short side because it has to obey the 4,000 frame rule. But I say there's definitely room for more Monica shenanigans if we're going to do a more in-depth crossover. I feel like exactly. But for what it's worth, it was a good bit of fun. It was totally. I do wonder. I do wonder. A bit of fun. Hope you enjoyed. I did, in the end. Until next time. Until then, bye bye.